Now let's talk about our first work rule. Let's assume this situation. We have a sim session on day 1 with briefing and debriefing, and on day 2 at the same time we have another sim session. Let's assume we told the system that it must be the same instructor on day 1 and on day 2. This is not a problem in this case because the instructor has enough rest time between day 1 and day 2. But let's assume a different situation where, for example, we have not one class, but two classes with a sim session in the morning and the other class has a sim session in the afternoon. And now the system is going to assign the same instructor in the morning session and in the afternoon session. We don't want that, and we must have the possibility to prevent the system from doing that. Let's see how this can be done. Okay, so the place where we manage our work rules is on the tree management page, where we have a new tree called work rule. So the first thing that we do here is we create a new work rule, which is actually at the end a place where you can have many configurations, many work rules in this place. So we call it pilot contract, for example, pilot contract. Click on OK, and now we have, as you can see here, our first work rule, which is the pilot contract. Edit, and now we say we want to have our first configuration here. Click on this button, and it is of type maximum duty time. That's the maximum duty time work rule. That's the first one that I want to show you. Next, and we say we have the maximum consecutive time is 600 minutes. That's the time from the beginning to the end, the time where our resource can be assigned to work packages, the duty time. And there is a minimum time between duty blocks, let's say as well of 600 minutes, which is 10 hours. I will talk about this ignore conflicts when in another video. So at the moment, the only thing we have 600 minutes is the maximum time that a resource can be assigned to something. And then after this, the person needs a minimum of 600 minutes to rest. Okay. So this is what we have here. And now we go and assign this pilot contract to the organization. Let's go to the Mint page, and let's say this is a contract that applies to everybody who is under flight training. We double click here, and we have a new option here, work rules. We select this new button again, click here, work rule, pilot contract. This is what we select. We even have the possibility to select a certain period. So that means, for example, that this contract is available from a certain date until a certain date. If we leave this blank, it means the pilot contract is valid forever. Okay. So now all our employees here are working under this condition. Now let's see how this looks like in our example. There's one important thing that you have to know. There's a layer, a new layer here, which is the work rule conflict layer. This should be marked so that whenever there's a conflict, you will see that here in our Gantt chart, which is nice. I think we have here Mr. Mike McGowan and Mr. Mike McGowan. And now, just to show you how it looks like, we go and say, we move this second day to a different time on the first day, right? Which would not be the case usually. But now you can see that this icon has changed to a warning. And here we also have a warning here in there. That tells us that there's something wrong with his assignments, with his work rules. If we click on OK, you can see that we have also a warning here, which was activated by this layer, right? Work rule conflict layer. If this is not checked, this warning is not shown. You could also control the opacity a little bit, like this, for example. Now you can see that here we have a warning that something with Mr. Gowen's assignments here is wrong. And that is our first work rule.